Victim to the time restraints are Malcolm McGregor III, Lisa Elena Turner, and Gilbert Guillen. Again, their being here or not being here has nothing to do with anything. All right. As before with the candidates, each candidate will have 3 minutes for opening comments, opening remarks, and there will be no countdown. When your 3 minutes is up, you'll hear a bell. Jorge, you're first up, so I will let you go first.
Thank you, Maggie. We would hope that choosing a candidate for representation in the council would be better than choosing candy bar that one would enjoy for the luxury that it is to eat candy bar, for the pleasure that candy bar brings, because we know that oftentimes when we make our decisions, it is any better than choosing candy bar. And with so many candidates for the offices for the 1st and the 8th, we would hope that individuals who seek to obtain the office of the council for each of the individual districts is better than candy bar. But the fact is that many of the candidates who seek public office here in El Paso, it seems, aren't better than a candy bar, and they come to office with the expectation that the illusions that they have learned from some source or another, that the way that government functions is any better than what it is for the manufacturer of candy bar to manufacture candy bar has. And we would hope that the commercialization that surrounds the decision that one undertakes in that decision of the choice that one undertakes for the acquisition of candy bar that one chooses for his or her pleasure, in fact surrounds candidates oftentimes in politics, particularly here in El Paso, where the electoral think that the individuals who choose office are confident in themselves until they learn differently that in fact the individuals who have taken office lack the competency that they believe them to have. And so we would hope that the individuals, when they come out to vote for an individual who represents them on city council come May of this election, that commercialization, the voters are aware of it and are wary of it. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Sergio Contreras, and I'd like to start off by thanking the Greater El Paso Republican Women for hosting us today. Thank you for the breakfast. I'd like to start off by asking, I'd like to see a show of hands. Who here lives in District 8? Besides the people next to me. Okay, so we have 2 people. I'd like to especially thank both of you for coming here today. It means a lot that you care about the process that we go through and get to know your candidates better. I'd like to thank the candidates for coming also. All right. Now, as we've been progressing through the years, we've been noticing a trend of government getting bigger on a national scale. And this is soon trickling down to the state level. And before we know it, the government's going to be bigger on the local level. I have training let me start about myself before I go into it. Again, my name is Sergio Contreras. I have lived in District 8 my whole life. Besides a few stints that I did in Los Angeles and New York City where I worked as a stockbroker on Wall Street, I've lived in District 8 my whole life. I went to Lamar Elementary School. I went to Harold Wicks Middle School, graduated from El Paso High. I earned a master's degree in economics from the University of Texas, El Paso. So I believe that training will help me, guide the economy into a better future, along with balancing the budget, keeping better track of overspending and issues of the sort. Now, El Paso is headed in the right direction. But what I've noticed, especially recently, a few years back too, is that the people that are running the city, they're a little unapproachable. And one thing I feel I'm going to bring to this is some approachableness to the government of El Paso. I will be there for the people. If you have any questions, if you have any phone calls, emails, I will answer this. You see me in the street, I'll be more than happy to stop and talk to you. Yes, you will see me in the streets a lot because I am in District 8 a lot. And that's where I spend my time. I work at UTEP. I walk everywhere I go. So I'll be, a person you see a lot. One more thing I'd like to add is that District 8 is a big district. It's shaped kind of funny. We have Southside El Paso with Segundo Barrio and downtown, that area El Paso High. And then this weird little stretch that goes along the freeway, and then suddenly you're in the Upper Valley, the Willows, Country Club area. So there you have one of the poorest zip codes in all of the United States, in the same district as one of the richest zip codes in El Paso. And now that we're in a census was done last year, we're going to be redrawing the districts. Well, there'll be a board to redraw the districts. And I'm proposing that District 8 maybe be split into 2 separate districts. Thank you.
Well, good morning. I want to thank everyone for coming this morning, and I appreciate your time. Why would anyone run for city council? This is the question I keep getting asked. And today, I'm here to tell you why I'm going to run for city council candidate representative District 8. First of all, I can do this job. I have a proven track record of getting a job done. I know with perseverance and tenacity, if you put your mind to it, you can get a job done. And that's what I'll do. Second of all, I'm willing to do this job. I believe that the service you render others is the rent we pay to live here on earth. And I know that I can serve this community from day one with my common sense and my integrity. Third, I'm capable of doing this job. I have a degree in economics with a minor in business and a minor in Spanish from the University of Texas at Austin. And I've served on numbers of different nonprofit boards here in El Paso, and I've served them with my leadership skills, my interpersonal skills, and my devotion. And I know that I can be the catalyst that will help El Paso move forward. So if you vote for me on May 14th, I promise to not only make you proud of the decision you made, but to also do whatever I can to improve the lives of not only your family, but mine. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to come here and speak. I'm also running for City Council District 8, obviously. My name is Ernesto Villanueva. I'm from El Paso. I've lived here my whole life, except for about 6 years when I lived in Colorado Springs. Absolutely beautiful place, just a little bit too cold for me. I came back here, I graduated high school from there. I went to about every elementary school in the city of El Paso. You name it, I've probably been there. And so I'm very familiar not only with my district, but with the city. I went to UTEP, I came back to school, I went to UTEP, I got my degree in chemistry, and I went out very optimistic to look for a job, and lo and behold, there's no industry in El Paso. There's no diverse industry, there's no high-tech work here, and ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you that the brain drain is not a myth, it's a fact. And it's a very painful one. So what happens is we get people, bright young people graduating from the University of Texas at El Paso or surrounding areas, and they come here looking for opportunity and they don't find it. So what happens? They move away. We've heard many people come up here and say the same thing. I went to go work somewhere else and I came back, and we're very grateful for you coming back. But what I want to do is I want to make sure that people don't leave to begin with. Okay? And how do you do that? Well, you do that by growing the market here, by bringing industry to El Paso. The lack of industry here shows its ugly face in many ways. And the biggest way it shows its face is in the monumental taxes that people pay here in El Paso. Why do we pay so much taxes? We pay so much taxes here because there's no work, there's no industry, there's no business. And that's what we need to do. We need to make El Paso a place for businesses to be able to open and keep our talent here. I'm asking for your help to put me on City Council to make sure that we get that done, because by bringing more businesses here and keeping our talent local, I promise you, all of you, will see the difference in your tax bill every single year. Thank you.
Let's go ahead and start with the microphone with Jorge. And the first question, please tell us how you stand on the issue of health insurance for unmarried city employees.
Well, we know that the issue that pertains to healthcare is a very touchy issue because we know that the cost of healthcare is very expensive I understand that some individuals pay up to as much as $800 a month just for healthcare. So there's a problem with the healthcare system. As far as individuals who are employed by the city with respect to their status as employees of the city with regards to their personal lives, we would hope that the city would have an understanding that the individuals they employ are employed under the contractual basis under which they are employed. And if the contractual basis under which they are employed are individuals as such, then we should abide and uphold those standards that are constitute part of what their contract is with the city.
Okay, very good. Jojo?
I'd like to start by saying that anywhere you're employed, you're required to show a marriage certificate to get insurance. I've worked for the University of Texas, Paso, school districts, Isleta Sur, Pueblo. They've all required me to prove marriage. But that's besides the point. The people have already voted. And the people said, 55 to 45, that they're against it. How am I going to go against what the people say? I'm here to work for the people, not against the people. Thank you.
Well, first of all, I approach everything I do from an economic standpoint. So I look to see what other municipalities are doing and what Fortune 500 companies are doing. And from an economic standpoint, domestic partner benefits are something that's being offered so that cities and corporations can stay competitive. And they make sure that they have the resources to have the best talent available to work for them in the city and their company. Second of all, I look at it, I am, hopefully, if I'm elected, a public servant. And I think today what happens too many times is too many public servants end up serving themselves and not their community. So once the community is sent out to vote, I back up what my constituents want me to do. So the city has voted, that's where I stand to represent my constituents.
Okay, this is where I stand on the issue. If you ever sit down and talk to me, you're going to see that I'm not a politician. Okay, I don't believe in telling people what I think they want to hear to get their vote. I believe that's to be dishonest. That being said, for this particular issue, is something that it kind of hits close to home a little bit. I'm a minority. You can't tell, I'm a minority, and my mother grew up in El Paso, where she was denied access to certain places because she was a minority. That being said, this is how I view this issue. I view it from an equal rights issue. These people are a minority, they're El Pasoans just like everybody else, and denying them health care or health insurance rights for any reason, I believe is just an issue of equal rights. So that's something that I could not support.
All right. The next one to answer first will be Sergio. Your question is, please give us your opinion on the expansion of Trans Mountain Road, Loop 375.
Okay. When I first heard of the expansion of Trans Mountain Road to 375, I said, well, we probably need to examine it further. The thing is that it was presented to the people without input from the people. And that's probably not the best way to go about doing business. And as one of the earlier candidates for District 1 had said, every time it rains or snows hard enough, that road is closed. So I don't believe that expanding it or not expanding it is the real issue here. I think the real issue is the way El Paso is growing and the way we can maybe manage that growth in a more efficient way. And there's also better routes, such as the Anthony Gap that was said by one of the candidates for District 1 also. So, Trans Mountain Road is, it's a beautiful place. It sometimes it serves as a shortcut, but I honestly believe there has to be a better way to do it and with better input from the people instead of having the state telling us this is the way it's going to be done. Thank you.
Well, I'm pretty passionate about this issue, and I'll tell you why. First of all, I want to preface it by telling you I love Mount Franklin State Park.